And our guest on this segment, Jose Luis Hernandez, director of the Sistema program at Boston Avenue Methodist Church here in Tulsa. All right, first of all, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. It's a pleasure to be here.
Sam, what have I told you?
Thank you, Sam.
All right.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Second, would you explain to the folks at home what is Sistema?
Sistema Tulsa is a program and ministry of the Boston Avenue United Methodist Church in Tulsa, downtown. The big idea is that we use music as an instrument for social transformation. Now, what that means is that the discipline, the focus, the rigor that goes behind playing an instrument and being part of a community, we believe makes better human beings.
These children, and I use that term with respect, don't always have their own instruments, do they?
That is right. And our program provides the opportunity for them to learn music. It is free of cost. It doesn't cost a dime. But I always say, Sam, there's nothing free about hard work. So you have to put in the work, you have to put in the energy and the dedication, not only to make a good sound, but then also to change your own life.
Very good point. We have some video I'm going to ask the folks in the control room to run for us, and if you would tell us what we're seeing, and we'll elaborate on it as we see. First of all, private instruction?
Yeah, so these children are learning as a group. It is one of our principles here. Here I'm teaching a young student piano lesson, and now he and I have been working together for about 9 months. Here's Miss Clark teaching our saxophone group. Now, all of these children are learning their first notes. When you were there at the site, you witnessed the beginnings of something very, very powerful, which is the beginning of learning. And so they are forming a children's band and symphony, and they're working hard. They're learning fundamentals. They are working together, which is a big aspect of this program. It's not just to do well on your own, but do well together.
And the thing that struck me about it was in watching the instructors work with the children, he or she is able to bring to them that yearning, that I want to learn more, I want to be good at this.
You have to capture the heart first. In any learning, before the imagination or the intellect, you have to capture the heart. And I love the fact that you used the word yearning, because that is the basic premise of the program, that students are motivated, they yearn to get better, because it is so important for them, because they love music, because they appreciate their colleagues and want to see themselves get better as a group and as a community.
One of the things I've always appreciated is when young ones are coming together and all of a sudden it clicks.
Yes.
That, wait a minute, if I do this correctly and they do that correctly, it's going to make this wonderful sound.
Absolutely. And what we're trying to do is to have that click, that spark happen every day. Because it has to be a continuous process. And if you can get the feeling that you are making progress and that you have an ownership of that progress,
Exactly.
everything changes.
Let's take a look at some more video. This will be an older group, and these young men and women have been together for a while now, if I'm correct on this. And we're also going to listen to a little bit of them.
That is our high school CYO. We call it the Community Youth Orchestra. And these students come from all of the different high schools in Tulsa Public Schools and beyond. And we are working together, polishing sounds, becoming a community, and just realizing how important it is to explore new things.
I have to admit, when I was there for this day, there was a little bit of magic in the room, a little bit of magic happening, because that moment, that click, was apparent. And these youngsters were saying, without saying it, you know what, that section sounds pretty good. This part sounds better if I do this, but they're all very intent on whatever you're directing. Whatever your cues are, whatever you tell them to do, they're going to follow you. I mean, that's an exciting place to be on your part.
Well, an orchestra is a perfect metaphor for community because, you know, everybody plays a different instrument, but everybody agrees on shaping music, on making it beautiful. And that's the main goal. You know, you get a group of children and youth, or people in general, to agree on something, that's a big deal.
You bet it is.
And we're agreeing, you know, this is an exercise in agreement to higher goals, to things that are much, much larger than ourselves. And this is a value that, in a lesson, that students are learning as they are playing.
No offense meant, but you're a young director. I am under the impression, and I hope I'm right, that you can look at this group and say, years from now, I know how these youngsters are going to sound. You know, if they continue, if they play with other orchestras, if they play with other bands or whatever, you're kind of in a position to see that development, aren't you?
I can. And you know, my main goal is not to make them musicians. Mm-hmm. It's not to make them professional musicians. I want to see them grow as productive citizens, that they can come out of the rehearsal and feel confident, that they can take ownership of their futures, and that hopefully, as a result of my teaching, that they learn that, you know, I mean something. I am important.
Self-worth.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
This is the Sistema Tulsa annual report, which is chock full of facts and figures that is put out yearly by yourself to let folks know. Where can they get a copy of this?
They can email me at jlhernandez@bostonavenue.org. I would be very happy to send them a copy. That would be wonderful.
Okay, well, we make sure that address gets out. When's the next concert?
So we are performing this Sunday, October 15th, as part of a worship service at Boston Avenue. That will be at downtown Tulsa. We'll also have a concert on November the 15th at the Tulsa Historical Society, and then our end of the year concert on December the 15th at Boston Avenue Church.
Now, will that December performance, is that part of the church service or is that separate?
That will be separate and is open to the public.
Okay.
Folks can also look at our website and see our calendar. We would love to have you as part of our performances. It is important to grow our audiences because our kids need the support. They need the champions that they deserve.
How much time do we have? About a minute. And I'm going to tease something with this gentleman before we let him leave. Recently, I was introduced to a young person, a part of your group of students, who absolutely blew me away. And you're going to meet this youngster down the road, not today. And we'll hear more from Mr. Hernandez, and we'll hear more from this particular student. But I promise you, you're going to want to be with us when we do run that video. I want to thank you for coming in, and I thank you for the job you're doing. And I think everybody associated with it has just gone the extra mile. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're a good man. I don't care what anybody says. Well, we're out of time. We'll see you next time around on Perspectives. Thank you for joining us.